Greetings YouTube, DJ Bonebreaker coming at you for yet another Enshrouded build showcase video. Once again, I am doing a renovation of pre-existing point of interest. This one is an unmarked inn/farmhouse that's in the Revelwood on the road from Funsong Frontier to Pikemead's Reach. This thing has been in the game since day one, although they recently in the Thralls of Twilight update changed the building and the surrounding terrain, which was kind of annoying because I'd already established an outpost here and I had to pull the altar because the terrain got like all wonky at the edges of it and start over. But hey, give me a good hook for this video. So anyways, this is the general thing. So you got this inn structure over here, and then over here you've got a barn. So I'll do a quick walkthrough and I'll show you where it's located and why you want to be putting an outpost here in a minute. So yeah, this is a nice little, like, you know, barn area here. Got some modest loot here in these boxes. Nothing too great, but it's decent mid-game stuff. The inn itself doesn't have any enemies, but the barn has a bit of a spider problem that you need to deal with. And it's also got the, you know, some interesting decor that you can, you know, reuse and stuff. But yeah, you know, once you clear out the spiders, you can, you know, take over the barn here. And of course, you know, got to fix the gaping holes in the roof and wall and stuff. And then across the road here is the, I'm guessing it's an inn. Has some random loot piled up on tables and stuff. This table was rather inconveniently placed, and part of the porch roof here has collapsed. But you know, nothing too big of a deal to fix up. There's also some holes in the wall and roof, but you know, to be expected. One thing I do like is that it comes with this sign, which you can't build these signs yet. So, of course, I'm definitely going to keep this when I renovate it. But yeah, going around here, big old hole in this wall here, and then around back here, got a boarded up door that leads into the kitchen, and a few more holes in the wall with this fireplace here on the side. So you got this big open area where there used to be like some double door here. And this is the main, like, dining area, I guess, of the inn. And the kitchen here with the boarded door right here. I guess it's supposed to be like food prep table here, and a counter for like storing stuff and some broken furniture and what have you. And then over here is the bathroom. Nails, I'll take those. With a dinged up cabinet here, and toilet and sink with, you know, obviously skeleton on the toilet. I swear that Keen must have taken some ideas from Bethesda with all their, you know, skeletons sitting on toilets. That seems to be a common theme between Enshrouded and Fallout, but I digress. Yeah, up here is the upper floor where you got the beds for the inn, except that none of these beds can actually, you know, function as a bed, and most of them have skeletons in them. So that's a bit of a downgrade from the structure that was here before, because structure that was here before actually had beds that you could use, but even still, with no flame altar, this structure provides 13 comfort, which isn't too shabby. And then, of course, this here is the balcony, which, aside from the holes in the roof, is the only natural lighting that comes in upstairs. So, needless to say, that's one of the things that I plan to change whenever I renovate this place. As for why you want to put this base where it's at? Well, let me show you. So this is where the Green Dragon Inn, as I'm calling it, is located. Over here is a gem forge, which you have to go down the shroud, and there's like a cave that goes in the back of it. Over here is a ravine that's enshrouded that has amber and luminescent growth in it, as well as one of the fossils you need to collect for the bard. I think it's the bard who sends you for hunting fossils. It's been a while. There's a flame sanctum immediately south. This catacombs area here for farming loot and stuff. Thornhold is located over here. There's obviously a bunch of clay deposits in this general area. Fonsong Frontier is here, which means that you can farm saw blades for the making more of the carpenter's sawmill. And then over here is Glimmerrock Mine for copper. And then of course this whole area here is the Revelwood Shroud, so you can farm like shroud mushrooms and other Revelwood Shroud items. With a shroud lair being located right here, which will provide you with the arcane essence you need for this gem forge. I think this gem forge can go up to level 15. Over here though, which again is located fairly close by, is some Nomad Highlands shroud, because this here is like the Nomad Highlands and Pillars of Creation are like right here. So you can actually get mid-game stuff in this area right here, including like this little thing on the map that my cursor's over is a decent sized tin deposit, so you can use this for like farming copper, and then once you get access to the Nomad Highlands shroud, bronze. And then of course Pikemead Reach is located up here with all the stuff that entails. And finally, this place here, as you can see, is located a fair distance from any of the Ancient Spire fast travel points. So it makes for a convenient location for farming a lot of stuff. And just as a convenient fast travel point in general. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go switch over to my main world. This is kind of like a world I use for testing stuff. And I'll show you what I've done to this place. Okay, welcome back. And here is the finished project. And of course, it likes to rain here a lot. I don't know why, but it seems like every place I like to build a base, it likes to rain a lot. So, you know, whatever. I've done a bit of landscaping here. This is the original side yard. I replaced the scrappy shed that had the loot crates in it with this little structure here. This is based on some pre-generated structures you can find in a few locations like Thornhold and Peaceful Acres. They're usually either like bathhouses or farrier sheds. In this case, this is supposed to be like a farrier or blacksmith shop. So I got the smelter here where I've been smelting like copper, tin, and bronze. Got a forge here to convert my excess metal scraps into metal plates for whatever. Got the blacksmith tools here so I can, you know, have access to any of the recipes that I can craft in either of these two things. Workbench for repairing my stuff and, you know, for extra decoration. And then I decided to, since, you know, the pre-existing versions of these structures usually either do not have a roof at all or have like some scrappy, like scavenger, like crappy board roof, I decided to put a proper roof on it and then add this support strut thing that was recently added in the most recent update as like a central support column for the roof, and I think it turned out pretty well. So yeah, this structure here is completely original. And of course out back got the brick kiln and charcoal oven. And I figured since this looks like it's supposed to be like a carriage yard, I decided to put in some cobblestone paving from the road and have it be like where, you know, guests can park their carriages, or like, you know, supplies would be like unloaded here. And then I extended this fenced in area a little bit and added in the tanning station here. Because again, you can actually get the big mushroom things that drop the ammonia glands nearby. And if they ever add these tall, like single fence post pieces as a craftable item, I'll be placing one here and then adding another fence along this side to kind of like enclose this thing in a, you know, tanning station in a bit. And over here with the barn, aside from repairing all the holes in the roof and walls and removing the rubble, I replaced the single door and took out the single door frame and widened it so I could have a double door, because this way it could act as like a carriage shed, again for like the higher paying guests to stash their carriage overnight. And also added like a workshop here with the sawmill and workbench and masonry tools and stuff. So basically it acts as like a place where they can like repair broken axles or wagon wheels or whatever. Got this loom here for making cloth if need be. Replaced all the broken barrels that were over here with ones that weren't broken. One of these barrels actually is original though. Put a door in this empty door frame here. Added some lighting. Took out those weird platform things that are over here and put in a stable for the horses. So yeah, these are horse stalls right here. Got some hay in the back for the horses to munch on and what have you. So I got three stalls for the horses. Didn't really do much for the upstairs area other than add some lighting so, you know, you can actually see when it's nighttime out here. And I replaced like 2 broken like wine casks that are up against this wall with ones that weren't broken. So yeah, that is the shed completely repaired. And as for the main end building itself, as you can see, I added in a nice paved, like, you know, big like walkway area here. Also, you know, so big enough that rich patron, more wealthy patrons, I guess you could say, could drive their carriage or wagon and drop off their charges before going into the carriage shed and all that. And this is where I put the flame altar. The flame altar is level 2, which is just enough to encompass both the shed and the inn here. And the best part is I can actually expand it to level 3 without encompassing stuff that I don't want to be encompassed by the flame. And this way, if they like completely muck around with everything again and cause like weird glitches with the terrain at the borders of the flame altar, I'll just wait till the full release version of the game comes out, expand the flame altar once more, and then, you know, to, you know, level 3, and then just fix everything. And this here is the original statue of Pikemead, the ones you got to find in 3 pieces in Pikemead's Reach and the symbol on the frame. I figured since you had to do that to unlock the ability to craft the statue, I'd put it here since this is my closest outpost to Pikemead's Reach. And of course, done some landscaping. Other things I've done to the exterior of the inn, as you can see, I decided that since they had this flat, boring, like, you know, porch roof here, it's like, well, what if I just use that as a base for a bump out on the upper floor, you know, to add a bit more space upstairs. And then I added some shrubbery and flowers and stuff along the front. And I also expanded added some steps to the original porch patio here, and then I extended the patio the entire length of the structure, like so. And I replaced the rather rickety fence railings with some somewhat less rickety fence railings and added some lighting and such. I got rid of this table that was like kind of in the way of the main entrance and put in some like smaller patio furniture seating out here. So I've got like 5 tables worth of outdoor seating now. Around this side here, I put in a farm plot that's big enough to plant 100 standard sized crops. So you see right now I've got 100 flax plants right here. And it's all fertilized farm soil, so stuff grows really fast. And then around back, I put in a small grove of filbert or hazelnut trees here. And I put in a Revelwood red tree just for looks and stuff. And then I added a small patio to the back as well. And I got the seed table and beehive over here. And of course fixed up the holes in the side on this side here. Added in proper doorway here so you can close up the doors if need be. I made sure that the doors wouldn't be blocking anything. In here, pretty much kept to the original table theme, although the original table had like some broken legs and stuff, so I replaced it with a new table, but I kept all the original like dishes that were on it and put some more ones. Added some like trophies and stuff and chandelier and other decorations. Added a small side table here for additional seating. Filled up this mostly empty shelf with other like cups and pots and stuff. Added this bar counter here for additional seating and also for the tavern keep to take orders and what have you. And then back here, the kitchen. This table is still there. Got rid of the counter that was originally here. Put in an alchemy station because it kind of looks like this extra pot that they got on the fire here. And I can find everything I need to craft alchemical base nearby, so I use it for crafting some of that stuff when I'm in the area. Got the grindstone here for grinding up bone and fossilized bone for the seed table. And then I added this other new cupboard, which I think fits the overall decor of the kitchen better than the one that was here. Fully repaired this fireplace and converted it into a fully functional kitchen fireplace. So you got this cook pot here, oven, and then this small fireplace provides the heat bonus for the this side of the structure. Did a little bit of extra decoration over here with this original stove. Added in this shelf here. Put up that's where I got the beehive smoker and the plant almanac so I can craft all the seed recipes. And then I put in the salon sink here because I think it fits with the overall decor of the kitchen better than any of the other sink options. And I added some storage for cooking ingredients and food like cooked meals and seedlings over here. And then around here with the bathroom, I put in a new door, obviously. Replaced the stacks of crates here with some storage bins for like building blocks and stuff. And then I replaced the bathroom fixtures with much nicer ones. Got a shower with a divider partition for a bit of privacy here. Nicer toilet that doesn't have a skeleton sitting on it. And a nice sink over here by the window. Yeah, I decided since there's a hole in the wall here, I might as well just put a window here to add some natural light into this room. And the original structure did not have a basement, and as you can see, I completely redid the stairway to make it a bit more compact. But I carved out a basement here. This front room has a couple large barrels of supplies, and over here is a second public bathroom for guests to use if the upstairs bathroom is occupied. Again, it's got a sink, a shower, and a toilet. And then back here is, like, you know, the wine cellar with all the wine casks, some additional cupboards for storing additional utensils and stuff. And then I put like all the old magic chests that I had in storage that I no longer was using on my main base in here for storing stuff that I find and don't feel like taking to any of my main bases. So I just dump it in there until I feel like picking it up. Anyways, upstairs here, thanks to, you know, having this newly more compact stairway, I was able to, put in a nice new wooden railing here at the top of the stairs. Kept this original furniture right here, and this is the original door to the balcony, which the balcony is pretty much original, except they added some flower pots and lighting to it. And this window that I added to the gable end of the house here to add, you know, let some natural light in. But I was able to put a wall down here to section off this part of the back section here, and then I put another wall across the whole way across. So let's go in here first. This is the innkeep's private chambers, and I got a spinning wheel for making linen yarn, so I could process all that flax there without having to take it to my main base. You got the bed for the innkeep. The original shelf that was here was clipping into the wall when I put the new wall in, so I got rid of it and put a new bookshelf in over here. This table is completely original. The broken chair replaced with this chair that actually isn't broken, and added a few other decorations to the tabletop here. And this section here is the innkeep's private bathroom. So yeah, they got a nice little cozy bathroom next to the chimney from the downstairs fireplace. But yeah, it's got a pretty tall, like, you know, ceiling up here with the peaked roof in the attic. This here is the new and much improved common guest room. So the old one could only sleep like 4 people, or no, actually it was 8 people, never mind. So yeah, this one doesn't accommodate quite as many people because they don't have those bunk beds as Craftable, but it can accommodate almost as many because you got 3 beds over here, and most of these like small side tables are actually original. I just added some additional decorations to them. This bookcase is also original. I put this brick fireplace inside the big stone empty fireplace to make it fully functional and get the extra rest bonus, and added some decorations. I think it turned out rather nicely. And then over here we've got 3 more beds. This is actually an original side table here for one of the original bunk beds, to give you an idea. And this carpet here is actually original. The rest I had to redecorate myself, but oh no, I think this carpet might also be original as well, but whatever. And then tuck this bed in here next to the fireplace. And then for the bump out section that I added to the roof, yeah, and I also forgot to mention, but I also added 3 dormers, 2 on the back side and 1 on the front side, since, you know, I already have the bump out here. But in order to kind of separate this like little parlor area from the rest of the guest room, I decided to have, like, you know, partial wall here on either side with the support beam over top of it, and then use the wooden partitions here to kind of separate off, so that way it'd be kind of separate from the parlor, but it wouldn't be too like closed in over here. It'd still be kind of open, and you'd be getting natural lighting from the windows on the side of the bump out into the rest of the room. But yeah, this is like a nice little parlor with some big, squishy, comfy couches to sit and read in, you know, when the guests don't feel like sleeping just yet. But yeah, that is the entirety of the Green Dragon Inn. I hope you liked it, and appreciate you for checking out the video. And until next time, this is DJ Bonebreaker, signing off.